that audience has got to grow.
Huge.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Anyway, WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah. Spoiler alert, everyone, because this is going to be spoilery. So what I'm going to do, I've got it in bullet form here. I'm just going to read it out, and then we can just discuss the episode afterwards. Okay, so right, let's do this. So it starts with Monica Rambeau coming back from being snapped. Then it's revealed that she works for SWORD and gets a report from the FBI about missing person in the witness protection program. It's also revealed that her mum, who was on the Captain Marvel film, had died. I can't remember what her first name was. I know it was obviously Rambo. I can't remember what her name is though.
I can't remember what her name was either, but yeah.
Yeah. Then we meet. She goes
Claire?
to.
No, sorry.
I don't know. She goes to the town of Westview, and she meets Agent Jimmy Woo outside, who's from Ant-Man. I can remember him from Ant-Man 2.
Yeah. He was his patrol officer, right?
Yeah.
He was played by Randall. I think his name is Randall Park. I believe. Monica again. She sends a drone through, which turns out to be that little toy helicopter that Wanda finds in the bush a couple of episodes ago, and she gets sucked in. Then obviously, SWORD and the FBI set up a perimeter around it, to see what's going on. Darcy Lewis gets called back. Kat
so cool.
Yes, from the 4 films. I thought that was cool to bring her back. She gets brought in with a load of other scientists, and then they kind of discover, while they're looking at like the background radiation, the TV show. And it turns out that everyone in the TV show are residents of Westview, of the town. One thing I didn't say was no one can remember the town, so they're standing outside of the town talking to the local police, and they're saying that Westview doesn't exist, even though it's behind them. Like they just don't.
They live at East. Is it Eastview?
Eastview, yeah. So they set up like a two-way radio, like a radio thing. So it was Agent Woo talking to her on through the radio. And I don't know if you go back, you can tell it's him, but obviously you probably would have. It's, in hindsight, it's obvious, but then you see the agent going down in a hazmat suit. Then the Sue is trying to get into the town to see what happened to Monica Rambeau, and then he's the guy who ends up being a beekeeper because his hazmat suit turns into a beekeeper suit, and his rope, they put it out, is turned into like a skipping rope, I think it was. And it's just then they say that Wanda is censoring the show. She's controlling it. She doesn't. If she doesn't like something, she just changes it. And then you see throwing Monica out of the town through several walls. And then it cuts to this bit. Cuts to it, and you see dead Vision. So Vision is there. His eyes are gone. He's grey. He's got a massive hole in his head. And then he's not looking good. She's shocked.
He's had better day, doesn't he? Like
Thanos
he's done a number on him, hasn't he? Just ripping.
That's what I mean. In the first episode, I think it was, he was like, "Oh, my wife's flying plates," and she went, "Oh, my husband's invincible head." It's like, it's not invincible. Trust me. So she sees that, and then she's like shocked, and then she thinks of it again, and he goes back to regular Vision. But you can see that he is starting to realize that something's not right, because when he sits on the sofa, he's like, this isn't real. Like he said, we can go anywhere, and she's like, no, this is our home, so this is where we have to stay. And then that's how the episode ends. Really good episode. I know we've all said like the last few weeks it's a bit weird, like the sitcom and that, but it's really good. And
doing it, we're getting into it now.
I like to we can break it down now. Once we've gone through like the synopsis here, you can break it down a little bit more. What do you think was going on? What was your favourite part of the episode?
Go first.
Someone else?
Ash, go first.
Yeah. When that reveal happened, when you actually saw the Vision, it was behind the curtain. That's my favourite bit, because I was like, oh, thank God for that. We're gonna do it now. We're gonna get into this series. But no, I thought that was really good. I just like the way it's starting to all fall around her, and she's just trying to keep it together because it's the only way she can live her happy life she wanted. That's my. I think it's. I'm enjoying it now. It was a struggle, but I wouldn't say it was worth it, as in I probably would have just watched like the highlights and then watched from this episode, but that's my opinion.
Is it not a better payoff though? Like the fact that you did watch all the way through and then you get it rather than highlights. Like the show absolutely needed this episode. This episode was so needed. And it probably needed to be the third episode, maybe. Maybe we're an episode too late, because I think the first two where they were on air together, if you had 1 and 2 and then the third episode was this, because I'm so excited to see it. Like, even though we know we're going to go back to probably 80s sitcom next week, which we've always getting this week, I'm kind of down for it now. I'm fully on board, because they've opened it up. You know what's going on. You know there's the outside world. And I watched a little peeky preview of what the rest of the season's going to be. And it looks like there's going to be some really good scenes. And I can't wait. This whole episode just completely like flipped what my thoughts on this whole show is. And now I'm like, Marvel, you're great. MCU, you're great. Why did I ever doubt you? Kevin Feige and the guys know what they're doing. And the strength of the universe, where, like you said, where they can bring in Darcy, they can bring in a random guy from like Ant-Man, like his patrol officer. And do you know what I mean? It's like they've got such a pool of characters where they can just plug them in. And the fact that Monica is the little girl in Captain Marvel, it's like that moment when that sparked to me, I was like, holy shit, like she's the little girl in that film. It's like, because they played with the timeline, it's so cool. I don't know if all that got lost in you, Brad M, because obviously you've never seen an MCU movie at all. So was you as excited as we were geeking out seeing these things?
Kind of. Like I'm really from a weird angle, because I just haven't seen the Marvel films. I'm that guy. But I'm still watching it because we're talking about it, and it's weird watching it from this perspective. I'm just thinking back to the first episode. This is so funny how I was messaging you, like I was mad at you, like, what on earth are you making me watch? Like, is this what Marvel is? Like, what? Yeah. But yeah, like from the second episode when it started to tease a few little bits and bobs, and then obviously like a much bigger piece in the third episode, and it was. I think it almost was a big payoff in waiting this long. I can see the approach. I won't get that 20 minutes back from the first episode. That's never going to happen. But it really did paint a good picture. It really wanted you to be in that world, and like that's the world that she's creating, obviously, and you know you're experiencing that, and it was it was painful. But knowing now what it's all about, it's like, oh, that's actually that's actually quite genius. There's actually a genius to it. And I'm quite, I'm a bit ignorant to the whole Marvel universe, so I don't really have too much to say on it, but I am really enjoying it, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. The way they're doing it is completely different. Like you say, they're completely like, like taking a left turn, and it's going to, hopefully, it's going to pay off, and there's going to be like some big reveals, and this will happen. The one bit I did like was when you saw people coming back from being snapped, like it's like they got dusted
in the hospital, that
reformed, and it was just mayhem, because they're like, everyone's back. The hospital is overrun. Everyone that was there who disappeared is now back in exactly the same place, and it was just you kind of saw it in Spider-Man Far From Home when people come back and they just like snapped back in
the school.
But this was like, they got dusted and they got reformed from the dust. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it's such an impact, isn't it, of like that click and what it did and things. And it's like probably the most big one was like at the beginning of Endgame, when you see Hawkeye with his family and he's teaching his daughter how to shoot the bow and arrow, and then she goes to collect it, and then he looks for her and she's disappeared, and he looks for his two boys and his wife. He's like in a field
because he's so scared.
Exactly, he's by himself, and it's like, wow, like just that click and everything. But it's so cool. The hospital scene, it's one of the best scenes. It was like, wow. And very good episode. Loved it.
I like the thing as well, like all the drones they're sending in, they're just kind of getting turned into retro toys. Like, so that drone just turned into like that retro helicopter.
Yeah, but it was the colour. It's still in colour, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still in colour.
Like a little giveaway.
Side world maybe is still in colour. I know that I listened to another podcast and they were saying that the woman who, what's her name? Catherine Hahn. She plays Agnes, who's always her neighbour, who's always coming round. In the comics, she's like a witch, and she's the one who teaches Black Widow not Black Widow, Scarlet Witch how to be more witch-like in her powers. And when they're pinning everyone on the wall, she didn't have, I think it was her and someone other person didn't have a surname. So they're saying, are they the people that were originally went missing, or do they have something else do they have something to do with it as well?
Okay.
So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
How it goes. So yeah,
I'm on for the ride now. It's interesting how it's going to end. Who's going to either stop her or get her out of this bubble, because it's she's such a powerful character, and it's who can actually come in. Are they going to get another character come in?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, they could. We're going to see another character. That'd be pretty cool. And because they all know as well, like, is that when they saw it on the TV, like, is that Wanda, and they know like Vision's dead as well. I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy's dead, but not blipped. But
who could it be though? Who could come in? Do you think like
Doctor Strange could? Like power-wise, he could.
He's probably a good shout.
Yeah. So I think it'd have to be someone quite close to her, and really the only one who was close to her was the Vision. Hawkeye was quite close to her though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hawkeye was quite close. I don't know if they'd be able to get him to go into it, like the actual actor, if he'd be interested in going into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it. They're doing a show, aren't they? He's doing a show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a Hawkeye show with him and Kate Bishop. So I think it's filming at the moment. So that could be a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's the route they're going to go. Sorry, man. I think that's the route they're going to go down. I think they're going to want it to be more emotionally getting her out of that situation than being strong enough to drag her out of it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's more. I think this whole story arc seems to be behind her dealing with her grief and going through it and losing someone like she did. And I think they really want to show it as in a compassionate way, rather than getting her out, dragging her out, and be like, right, you need to snap it together now. More of a gentle way. That's what I think they're going to do.
I can see. Sorry,
go on, sorry.
I can see. Obviously, it's not going to work because of what happens at the end of Endgame, but I think Captain America probably would have been the obvious answer because he was her leader in obviously the new Avengers.
Yeah, and he was always compassionate.
Exactly, and obviously he comforted her and protected her after the whole bombing thing in Civil War, what started kind of the Civil War kind of thing. So it would make sense for it to be him, but obviously they can't have him. So yeah, it'd be interesting who they bring in. Hulk. I don't know. No. Bruce Banner, like
that'd be fun to see them trying to fit him in the old black and white series.
Two things I thought was cool. When you saw Monica Rambeau get out of the car, she had obviously her ID, which was the sword like laminate, like a security pass. But then when she got sucked into town, that's why she was wearing a necklace with the sword logo on. That's what it must have got turned into. And one
attention to detail is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's another thing I was going to mention. So yeah, like after Endgame, she must have just just gone and started a town, like not long after.
Yeah, maybe because she didn't blip out, did she?
No.
So I think the grief of it's made her gone a bit insane. So she's just she's created her own world.
Yeah, it's
I was gonna say, is it after Endgame? It must be after Endgame.
Yeah, because she gets snapped back. And then I think it's a few weeks, I think the guy said. The new guy of Operation Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. said it's a few weeks. And then, so yeah, she must have just kind of been dealt with that, been grief-stricken, and then gone to town. And was she looking for someone? Was she looking for these people in the witness protection? Or was she looking for, if she had Vision's body, was she looking for someone who could repair him? And maybe they said they couldn't. And then
I don't get that bit. So is his conscience still within that body? Like, because he said he's starting to realise. Is he actually starting to realise, or is she making him in her mind?
I don't know.
She's losing control of it, and he's starting to realise.
The last two episodes, he's been.
It's like he's coming to it. He's like, oh shit, this isn't real. Wanda, we need to stop this. And she's like, no. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm back again. Is she like, with her powers, is she managed to make that let's say like the drone body like run to an extent? Is she powerful enough to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she is.
It's his dead body floating around, and we can't see it. And like you can't you can't see.
She's so powerful that she can very tiny, like mimic the stone. You know what I mean? That's what I'm like. She's repowering him, but every now and again she's losing it, and he's starting to come through again. He's like, this isn't real, and then she's getting it back together, and then he's going back to how she wants him to.
It's kind of interesting that you kind of go to that about is he conscious or not, because he must be if he's kind of breaking free. It's kind of like, wasn't the whole Jarvis system all put into the Mind Stone, like the gem?
No, I think that was just a power source. The gem, I thought the whole body was already there. Then they used the power gem to make him run, but all the information was Jarvis, so that was actually put into the body. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I know the Mind Stone definitely gives him all the powers.
Need to watch Age of Ultron again.
They were trying to take it out, weren't they, in Wakanda? So did they manage to retrieve some of his like data?
Yeah,
because they was almost there, weren't they? They was almost.
So they rewired his system. Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, that must be what it is, because she was almost finished, wasn't she? So she must have probably rewired most of it. Another of Jarvis over, Vision. I guess it's not Jarvis anymore. So, and obviously then gets ripped out. So, that makes sense now.
Yeah, really good episode. Really got everyone talking and piqued everyone's interest again. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've gone from this is terrible to all these theories and can't wait stuff. So yeah.
And you said you wished the people who had originally watched the 4 episodes said they wished they had released the 4 episodes to begin with, and that makes sense now because we're all waiting for the next episode. We're all excited about
exactly. Yeah. The people that got a preview, like the press and that, got the first 4 episodes, so they saw them 3, and then that one they were like, oh wow, okay. So people that are probably jumping in now are going to watch the first lot. Yeah. I think it's just because it's coming out weekly. That was the issue. And I think they probably knew that. And that's why they gave us the first 2 like in the same week. Yeah. Because if we had to wait another week for this one, I think it would have been a little bit.
Jump off,
yeah. If we had last week's episode this week, which I think was the worst one, I really struggled with it. I think we will be close to be like, do we actually want to watch this? We would have for the podcast, but outside that, I think a lot of people would have jumped out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, they made it right. Yeah, made a good call, but really enjoyed it. Looking forward to next week's episode because again, like we were saying, I was like, I'll watch it, but I'm not, majorly. I'm not looking forward to it as much as I was like the Mandalorian or whatever. But this one really.
No, MCU stuff, they're so good, aren't they? Like the way they connect to that universe. And I'm looking forward to Loki. I'm looking forward to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is end of this month. I think it's going to link
March. I think maybe March. I think it'd be when this one finishes. That one will start on it. So.
We got 4. Oh yeah, I guess we've got 4 more episodes, haven't we? So we're like halfway through. So if there's 8 again, but anyway. Podcast is running on a little bit long this week, so we'll wrap it up here. So thanks for listening.
It's all our tangents we went off on. That's
which I missed. I was looking forward to talking about Star Wars. So the part I was looking forward to
technical issues.
Technical issues. We'll blame someone.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's this week's episode. Thanks for listening. Remember to get in touch with us if you want, and like and follow us on all our social medias, and rate our podcast, please.
Absolutely. We appreciate your support.
Definitely appreciate your support, and new episodes every Monday. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Bye guys.
Bye.